Am I sharing my screen? Yeah, it should be, huh?
Yeah.
So I made the adjustment to here, and look, you could have took I took the short from right here, from here all the way down to here, 200 points, or somewhere right here, 200 points. Now we're following the imbalance. I said that this white line was a 30-minute imbalance, which was right here, this doji, and this one has no wick. But the reason why I didn't zone this out was because it was tagged right here.
Oh, okay.
So when it's tagged, it's not as strong, but there's a big support. See it bounce right there, bounce right there, bounce right there, and then it slipped. When it hit this level, it popped up 50 points, and then it came back, slipped a little bit, and then it bounced back up. Now it's bouncing back up. Now I had this 15-minute doji, so I put it to the body. It has no wick. So right now, these two zones are the relevant ones. This one and this one. This one's from this, it's an hour. This one came from the 1 hour broken down to the 30-minute. And if you want, you can break it down to the 15-minute, which is, it's coincidentally the 30-minute body lines up with this doji. So that level, when two time frames line up like this, you look at right here, the 30-minute, because I had
Yeah.
drawn it from the 30-minute right here, the body. It
Hmm.
lines up perfectly with the 15-minute doji. And I love this combo right here. A doji with the huge candle. That's primo level right there. Because what this is telling you is that, especially when it has no wick, when this huge candle has no bottom wick, that bottom of that candle is probably where price action is going to go. And that's where price was accepted. That's where the bulls came in and we're like, we're not going to let it go below this level, right? And now what you want to pay attention to is the speed of this candle. You always want to pay attention to the speed of the imbalance, fair value gap, no GP, whatever you use. You want to see the speed of this candle being developed. Now, if you see it like rocket ship straight up, which that's what I like to see, is I want to see a rocket ship straight up,
Hmm.
because when it comes back to this level, it's probably going to bounce hard, right? But if this candle went up, came back down, went up, came higher, went up, came back down, went higher, came back down, came up, and then it just keeps going like this, steadily goes up. That means this whole candle right here, it was just fighting the bears the whole time. So it's gonna be really hard for this to bounce higher. But when it's fast, whenever it hits that level, instead of doing when it hits that level, if it went up fast, then it's probably gonna go up fast to an imbalance, right? Because we don't know when it's coming down here if it's gonna be an imbalance coming down. So it could be one big ass candle hit this level, right? And now you
Right.
got and now you got that imbalance. And because candle over here, this candle over here was fast, the bounce might be fast. But if it's slow, you got to be careful, because if it's slow up, then this might be, you have a higher probability of this going slow back up, create a lower high, and then continue going. But if
Okay.
it was fast, then it might hit that level and hit the new imbalance, take profit at the new imbalance, whatever. If there was a candle right here that was created that was huge, right?
Hmm.
Take profit at that imbalance and let one ride up to the next higher imbalance. Since this imbalance was kind of full, It might do this and then go up to here.
To cover up those other imbalances right there to the left.
Yeah, to hit
Okay.
this imbalance here and then this imbalance here.
Okay.
So you just gotta every time a imbalance or a fair value gap is filled, pay attention to the candles because when it hits this, look at right here, the first time it hits that doji, it rejects. But did this wick, was it fast or did it come back down slow?
Okay.
Those are the little details that you need to start paying attention to. So like that, when you come into a new imbalance and you're coming to your level, you have to make sure that you kind of remember. I mean, you can take notes like fast imbalance. I don't know. Some platforms like TradingView or Project X, uh, they let you label the box. So you can put fast imbalance or fast fair value gap,
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
If not, just try to remember, like, okay, last time this candle, look at it, gapped up. So most likely this candle came with speed. So when it
Yeah.
comes back down, this is probably going to bounce hard. It'll most likely bounce at least 25 to 50 points, maybe more. It just depends, right? Because you don't want, if you see, the other thing you want to pay attention to is, do you see small candles, and then you see a higher low. Boom, oops. And then you see a higher low, and then it comes down, right?
Hmm.
That you might be cautious because I don't like to see lower highs coming into my level.
Oh, I see.
I rather it come down, hit, and bounce. You don't want like this is probably gonna create a lower high and then come down. So I won't put a fishing order out here unless the candle going down into it is fast. But sometimes when it's fast, you have to be fast on the trigger because it'll bounce 25, 50 points and then it'll continue going.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you have to pay attention to the speed of this candle, the speed of it coming down, or the formation of the candles coming down. You don't want to see a lower high. Any questions? Hopefully that clarifies.
With that lower high, is it just kind of like developing its way down? Like it's stepping down slowly and slowly? Is that
Well,
why the
the best way to explain it is like, okay, this, the big ass red candles, the bears are in control, right? But you always have the bulls right here.
Mhm.
But we broke structure. So it's like the bears got control. Now they're retreating to gain more force, to gain more momentum. Now, where that lower high can be formed, it can be formed in different places. This is
Okay.
why I say don't get married to a bias because usually when there's a doji like this in the middle of big candles, this causes inducement, meaning you get faked out, right? So you can go to that level since it's already been hit right here with this candle right here.
Mhm.
It could create inducement. You get in short, and then it creates a higher low because it just wanted to, because the fib level or there's this candle is in balance, and then it goes up against you. This is
Okay.
why I always say take profit. Don't get greedy. Take profit. Trade the chart in front of you. So that's one potential lower high, right? The next potential lower high is way up here.
Okay.
So you got that one and this one. Now you got to ask yourself, if I get in on this lower high right here, how far is it down to this target? Or if there's an imbalance right here, if this was a big green candle, you have this imbalance to pay attention to. Because it can come here, but it could come down here at the end of the day today, the next 5 minutes, next week. We don't know. But if you follow the speed of the candles, then most likely, like right now, this imbalance is technically filled because it filled the hit the wick. But majority of the time, it'll come down and hit the body and then decide. It's slowing down. See how it's slowing down?
Yeah.
So this is the 15-minute chart. So depending on how this closes, it could create a doji right here, and then the next candle go up. But like I said, it's the imbalance right here is already filled on the top side. Right here is filled, and
Oh,
then the next one's way up here. So the bulls really got to come in with strength to be able to push through these bears right here and these wicks, and then this doji. This doji right here are usually squeeze points. Those are usually squeeze points. Uh, and then you just see how it just slows down when it feels the imbalance. It's slow down, rejected. We might get one more red candle, hit this body, and then go up. Because even though this doesn't look like structure right here, if we drop down to the smaller time frames, just see how that structure looks like. And that structure is right here. I prefer to break this structure than this structure, right? So you got three hills to climb. You got this hill, you got this hill, and we already broke one. And look, usually it comes down and hits that. And if you break it down to the 5 minute, the imbalance on the 5 minute has technically not been filled. So most likely it'll come down here and then decide where it wants to go. Right now it's bouncing because it filled. So we have, let me mark a line right here. We have this one right there, and I bet you it lines up with the 15-minute wick. And look at that. Look at where it bounced. See that? That wick right here?
yeah.
That wick. This is why I tell you guys cycle through the charts. Cycle through the 15, through the 30. Because right here, the 15-minute doesn't tell you shit. It just tells you there's a wick. But if you drop down to the 5 minute, there's structure right there. Right here.
Oh,
And what I say is probably gonna come down here because we broke this. And I'm not saying so if I get married to the long right here, I can get fucked. But if you enter if you enter here at this at the 61%, your risk should be right here. That's it. Stop out below there. Because what it can do is come all the way down here, the 1 hour imbalance, and then
hmm.
go up. Because if I get married to the long right here, and then you fucking backhold over here, you're blowing up your account.
Yeah. Okay.
So you should be able to tolerate this stop right here. If you can't do micros, don't over leverage yourself. You're trying to the name of the game is survive to live another day. Survive the battle to win the war. Right? You don't want to fucking get married. Now, I'm not saying that it can't go up, but you have this 1 hour zone down here that it can come down and hit. We have a break of structure. So the momentum is starting to shift, but we probably won't get a better shift until we break this level or this level. Now, why would why would I say that the momentum shifts over these two hills right here?
Would it be the imbalance?
Because you have an imbalance up here on the 15-minute and there's no structure. There's no resistance right here stopping you, right? There's nothing right here. It's free game. If we get over this, it's free game up.
Mm. Oh, okay.
The only thing stopping you is this doji right here, this fat body doji. So this candle right here has no wick. That's gonna be a magnet. No, that's where you could, if you're in long here, that would be my target. Because look, there's this imbalance that hasn't really got filled because we're right here, barely shied it. And what do I always say when it shies a level? When it shies a level, it's probably gonna come back down, get reinforcements, and then blast through the level. And then the next level would be right here. If we get over that, the next level, look at this no doji right here. And it lines up with this 1 hour imbalance right here. Boom. So if you're riding micros, fucking ride the wave. We broke this. We're setting up to break this level to get to this level. And when the candles hit this level, pay attention. Is it slow? Does it smash through it, come back down? Because if it smashes through, it's gonna weaken this level. It's gonna weaken it. So that means that it could create another higher low and then smash through it to get to this level. And then again, pay attention when it hits this level. Does it smash through it or does it reject right away? Does it stay glued to it? If it gets rejected right away, the bears are probably going to push it down to potentially create another higher low to go up to here and smash through it. Right? You always want to pay attention to the way the candle hits that imbalance or hits that fair value back, hits that GP. Whatever it is, you have to pay attention to how the candle slows down, how the candle blasts through it, how the candle rejects, how the candle stays glued to that level. Those are all the little things that you should be paying attention to. So boom. Now, since we hit this imbalance right here hasn't been filled and we kind of created a lower high, it might smash through it and then probably hit here. And then when it hits here, it'll probably bounce hard and then we'll have the speed to smash through all this. So that's just using straight up imbalance, straight up candle price action. That's it. Now you have moving averages. We broke the moving averages. We haven't retested them. Neither the 100, the orange line, or the 50, the yellow dotted line. We haven't retested. So when we get over here, when we get to these levels, you have to pay attention. And it lines up with this. So you have a lot of resistance right there. That might be a hard level to bust through. But if we know if we bust through here, then it's free game almost all the way up to here. Any questions? Is that clear enough for you guys?
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
A little off topic, well, on topic, but that 1 hour zone you have below, I'm assuming that's that all blue, the big blue area.
Yep, yep.
Can you show me how you drew that? What you
Yes,
used to
sir.
draw that?
So the 60-minute wick to wick.
Okay, so it's that doji. That's what I thought. Okay, so it's
Yep,
that. Oh,
yep.
I got my 1 hour now. Yeah, because I
Now,
had
with
that
some consider
marked
it
off
a
too.
doji, some might not. Some might like a skinnier body like this body right here. Or this is perfect. If it looked like this, it would be even better. But this is what we call a fat body doji.
So
This would,
if you move that chart now to the 15 minute
yep.
and then go over to that area. Okay,
And
so
it lines up perfectly with that doji. But this white line, when I first created this zone, so we started at the hour, right?
yeah.
We started at the hour. I usually put a line, like I'll shift this line right here, I'll shift it. I'll start at the 1 hour. I'll put it right here,
Yeah.
and then I'll go to the 30, and then I'll line it up to the body of the 30. Oops. And then, because I stopped refining the zone or the line to the 15. So the 30 lined up with the 15, so I'll leave it here. It lines up perfectly with this doji.
And that would be your buy point. Would, would that be where
Z-
you, if it came down to that level where you could
Yeah.
for a buy to put like a fishing order there, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
But what I'm doing while I'm waiting for price action to come down, I'm measuring this candle, right? Because some people, because look at this 15-minute candle. It's 355. That's 40 points. That's a 40-point candle, right?
Right, right.
40 points is $80 or $800,
Yeah.
right? MNQ, $40, or I mean $80 on MNQ, $800 on NQ. Now you got to do the calculation. It's all it's a 40-point candle, but the body is 44 to 317. That's about 37 points, right? Now, where can you get in, tolerate a stop so you don't fucking bag hold,
Yeah.
right? So 37 points, that's 74 dollars. $74 or $740. So now you went from $800 to 740 or 74, right? Now can you tolerate it? You got to ask yourself, can I tolerate if I enter here? If I enter here, then I can tolerate it. My stop would be a break below here because that's what I can tolerate, right? If I can tolerate all the way down here to the zone, then that's what I would enter with. I would enter with 1 MNQ, even though it's 44 to the break of this, it's almost 70 points. That's $140 with 1 MNQ. Can you tolerate a $150 stop? If your stop is $150, I would definitely enter at the body instead of up here because that's another 10. That's another $20,
Yeah.
right? Because that would put you at 164 instead of 144, and your stop is usually 150. So enter here, stop out down here if you're on 1 MNQ. Now, if you can't tolerate 40 points or whatever I said before, 74 points, then you either have to, if you can't drop because there's nothing less than 1 micro, if you can't do that, then what you can do is drop down to the 5 minute to see if that gives you a better management. Sorry for the scrolling. So now you got this candle, you got 55, that's 20 points. Can you tolerate 20 points on a 5 minute candle? Now, if you can tolerate 20 points, you could get in at the wick, stop out right here, or stop out right here, or stop out down here, whatever you can tolerate.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But knowing that usually when you refine your entry down to the 5 minute, it might get shied and it might run. Because usually that's what tends to happen. It'll hit the 15-minute or the 30-minute levels and run, right? And you're like, fuck, I refined mine to the 5 and it's too tight or it's too low. And it's crazy because this little doji lines up with the 15-minute doji. Sorry for the scrolling. Oops. Lines up with the 15-minute doji that lines up with the body of the 30-minute. So that level is really strong. You got
Yeah.
three time frames that line up.
The other day you posted like this little area right here was I think the night before basically, then it gapped up that had that gap up. Oops.
This one?
Yeah, and that so the next day, in the morning, you had posted a picture, and you had like fishing entries down there around that doji or whatever. And I had
Around
done
this
the
doji?
same. No, you had done it, the one that we were talking about
Oh, this
back.
one?
Yeah, yeah. You had some fishing orders there when in the morning, I think, and you took a picture of it and posted it. Now, it never came
Uh-huh.
down there, obviously, so those were never filled. But
Yep.
when you took that picture, I looked down and I was like, I had the exact same fishing orders on mine. I was like, I'm finally learning this stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, no, it never came down there, but that made me happy. I've been trying to get this whole thing down and over the past few weeks, whatever, and I
Well,
am liking it though.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
it's a lot cleaner,
Yeah,
and it's the way that I tell myself, like, okay, if the Bulls were to come back and get control, where would they get control, right? Like, where is the level that the Bulls might come in and run the Bears out? And the two things that help me out the most is a no wick candle and the speed. When you see this combo right here, a doji with the huge candle,
yeah,
the speed of this candle being developed, the speed of it. If you see fast and you see no wick, when it hits that level, you're gonna have a good bounce. Now, the bounce can be 25 points, or the bounce can be 50 points, or it can be a reversal. The likelihood of it being a reversal are higher when this candle right here rocket ship and it had no bottom wick. Because as I stated earlier, this no wick down here, that price is where the Bulls came in and the Bears didn't even battle, didn't even have a battle with them, right?
yeah.
Just like, here's a good example. Look at right here, there's no wick, right? There's a no wick on the top. So most of the time, it'll magnet the no wick and then decide what it wants to do. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to reject. I mean, right here, it did reject, not as hard as I thought it would. So I don't know the speed of this red candle, right? As I said earlier, like if this candle might have went up, down, or up, down, and then it closed right here. That means that it was a battle the whole time down,
Right.
right? But if this candle was super fast, then we probably would have had a bigger uh pullback, probably to here, and then run.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
So pay attention to the no wicks. They usually magnet. Look, it had no wick right here, and look at what happens when it magnets. Magnet runs, and
If
then
you
this no.
had, I got
Go
another
ahead.
question for you.
Yep.
I'm gonna probably draw on your screen, I think.
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Where's my, okay. Let's just say you had let's say you had your fishing order right here, where this white line is basically, right? And you're over here, you're playing it, it's coming down, so you put your fishing order, right here. And let's just say, like this candle, went down, sh shied your fishing order, and then went up, and then closed like that, kind of, or something like that. Then a new candle was formed here. You just missed your fish. You just missed it. Would you leave your fishing order down here, or would you take it off? Because maybe now it opens and now drops. Could maybe continue to drop down like that or whatever. But because it's saying so close, would you leave your fishing order here for it to come down, or would you take it off because it came down really close to it and then it had this retrace back up, so you kind of missed this move here. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep, yep. No, I usually take them off.
You would take it
90% of
off.
the 90% of the time when it shies my level, especially if it shies it by like 50 cents or 1 point, I'm taking that bitch off because like you just said, It'll come back, bounce 50 points, and then fucking
and then
go.
crush through it because you
Yep.
just missed it. Right. Okay. That's what I
Yep.
generally do too. I was wondering. Okay. Okay.
As soon as I see a shy, I'm removing my fishing order out because it's probably gonna retreat, gain more momentum, so you can continue going back down.
And then crush through it. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you're fucked. And then you're
Right.
like, well, that imbalance was there. Yeah, but the lower high, like I said earlier, I don't like to see lower highs going into my level. Unless it's a few days later, right? If it's a few days later, like right now how it is, I want a big red candle right now with speed. I want, because I know that candle over here was fast. I want fast coming down. Because what did I say a couple of weeks ago? It's like it's like slamming a ball into the ground. The harder you slam it into the ground, the higher the bounce is going to be, right? Especially if this candle right here is fast. But if you just drop a ball, then what could happen is it's a dead cat bounce, right? It's going to go smaller and then smash through versus
Yeah.
versus it smashing down and then having a big 50, 70 point drop bounce. You have to take a 50-point win. You can't fucking you can't you can't get greedy thinking that it's gonna go way up here or another imbalance that's up here right off the gate. You have to follow the imbalance because the way that I like to see it is a big red candle here, right? And it created an imbalance. It seems like I'm a broken record repeating myself. You see that big red candle.
Yep.
Let me make it red. You see this big red candle right here, but now that's the new imbalance, right?
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
your first target, your first target should be that imbalance.
Right.
You, yeah, you have this target, but say this is 70 points. You should be taking profit and maybe let one ride up here
Yep.
because it can go like this, or it can fill that imbalance, and then this green candle created an imbalance, right? Or maybe there's a big red candle here, hits your thing, and then there's a doji right here, whether it's green or red, don't matter. And
Yep.
then you have a big green candle right here. So flow with it, right? It fills that imbalance, take profit, and now what it can do is create a higher low off of this imbalance right here, and then go up.
Sometimes though the speed, I know you say you like it really fast, and I totally get what you're saying, but sometimes the speed also scares me. Can you make this like a little
It's
bigger? This
scary.
area?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What happened to me today? I was playing ES, so it's a little bit different than here, but the charts were pretty similar today.
Yep.
And it was this candle right here, this big
Yeah,
candle here.
when Warsh started talking, it went
Yeah,
up
and
and then
it
it came
started
back down and then it
plummeting
went
down.
back up.
I actually had a buy order right here, like the almost the bottom. And it came down, it got my buy order, right? But then it was just kind of it doesn't show up in the 15-minute, but it was just kind of I wanted kind of a fast bounce up, but it was kind of not going up all that fast, or at least I
Yeah,
didn't think so. And I ended up taking it off because of the speed that it came down on. I was scared that it was just going to keep crushing through or wherever. I don't know where it was now, but whatever. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
scared
yeah.
it was going to, keep crushing through it because it had gone so fast. Now it didn't. It actually did stop and it did this whole run all the way back up. And I took it off like really quick for hardly anything. And I'm like, son of a bitch. But sometimes that speed can scares me because it's coming so fast. I feel like it
And
might just run right through your thing. Maybe I'm just not haven't watched them long enough to have enough confidence in them.
exactly. And I used to be the same way. I used to be scared of the speed, but you can't. The only other way that you can do it is and this is the method that I use when I remove a fishing order out off of my level, is I'll wait for a doji to be created. And sometimes it's best to see it on the 15-minute chart.
Yeah, I'm loving the 15-minute chart. Kind of my favorite chart now.
Um, so you come down, right? Let's just say like right here, it hits my level. Like, let's say there's white line right here. Let's remove this one. Let's say this white line was my level. And I had a fishing order out, like I had a fishing order out right here and it shied it,
Yeah,
right? Just like we just talked about.
yeah, yeah,
I'll remove my fishing order off and then I'll wait for it to come back down, create this doji, this combo right here. And then I'll enter at the break above this doji. Majority of the time, when I enter at the break of the, uh, at the break of that doji right here,
yeah.
it'll go up. And
As
now
it did.
for the new traders that are trying to follow this imbalance method and you're scared of the speed, then I suggest you probably use that method instead until you get comfortable with the speed, or you sim trade it. You sim trade it and you're paying close attention to how the candles are being developed. Because Brandon always says you want speed in your favor, but you also want trend in your favor. And if you're counter trend trading, you can't expect a reversal all the time. No, sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get a reversal, right? But you have to be able to read the chart. So, so we have a break of structure right here. Now, a break of structure on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour is usually two candles. Most of the time, it's two candles. And when there's two candles like this right here, this was chop. This was a big structure on the 5-minute. Now, let me show you. The best way to show you is we'll highlight, oops, we'll highlight that, and then we'll highlight this. So let's go down to the 5-minute. See what I mean? It's a bigger structure. It was three candles or four candles, and even if you go down to the 1 minute, if you're trading the 1 minute, oops, see the structure right here? Big, nice structure.
Yeah.
And then over here, it was just two, but it's still a nice structure. But usually, like on the 5-minute, it's two candles. On the 5-minute, 15, 30, on the higher time frames, the structure is usually two candles. And see right here, it came up, filled this imbalance right here, and there was a lot of bears right here. So then this green candle created a new imbalance. And what did I say? It's going to come down to the body of this imbalance and then decide what it wants to do.
Hmm.
So now all this is chop. All this imbalance right here is filled. So this is going to be harder to get through for the bulls. But if the bulls get up to this doji right here, it's probably going to squeeze up through here to gum up to here,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
right? Once it hits this level right here, you have to pay attention. Does it look, the candle look like this? Did it stay stuck to this level? Did it blast through the level at first and then it hit the top of the wick and then it rejected? Or did it stay glued to the top of the wick? If it stays glued to the top of the wick, that's a fucking squeeze coming. It's gonna squeeze, and then where's it gonna go to? You can target up here. There's no wick. You could target this one imbalance, but you have this battle right here. This doji right here was a battle. There's
Hmm.
no wick right here, or hardly any wick. it's probably gonna come up to here and slow down. Now, another thing that I've been paying attention to is probably gonna hate me for this, but it's ICT technique or strategy that he uses. And this was brought to me by a different trader. And what he usually, the theory behind it, let me remove this daily. The theory behind it is you fib out the you fib out the current week candle. So this is this candle right here.
Yeah.
And this is the last 2 or 3 weeks that I've done this. Price action settles between the 75 and the 80% fib. Now, Brandon doesn't use that method. I'm gonna bring it up to him. But you see the 75 and the 80s right here.
Yeah.
By the end of the week on Friday, most of the time it'll settle between these two areas, give or take 5%. So I would say 70 to 85% in between that zone.
So
Usually
what
pr
you're
price
saying,
will action.
according to this, is it should, to follow that, it should be price action in the next 2 hours should trail upward
Yes.
to get into that little zone.
Yeah, the little zone, like I said, give or take 5% higher, 5% lower.
The
Well,
75 and 80, huh? Yeah.
well, somebody just said 70 to 80, the 70 to 80%.
Oh, 70, yeah.
So it's probably gonna settle between that area. And if you go back and you fib out these candles, the likelihood of it settle on the 70 to 80% is pretty good. Now,
Okay.
I'm just testing this. It's not fully proven, but just something to keep to think about.
But you're saying it closes at the end of the week
Yep,
at the seven between the 70 and 80 is,
yep.
right in that area at the end of the week. So really for Monday or Tuesday, it's kind of a useless stat.
Useless, yes. But you can
Yeah,
start fibbing it.
right,
So
right.
like a lot of people don't like Fridays, right? Because
Yep,
it's choppy or they don't
yep,
know what to trade. Usually it's tougher, and it's Mondays and Fridays are the toughest days to trade. So don't beat yourself up if you take red on Monday or Friday.
yep.
You should try to avoid those days until you get this shit down and you're good. But usually what I tend to do if I don't have nothing let's take this weekly off for now, or I fib the dailies every day I fib the dailies.
Yeah, yeah, I do too.
So this big ass candle has a no GP tag. So actually I'll do it reverse since it's red. Usually, oh man, I just remove my zone. Fuck it. Usually what I tend to do is I'll fib in the direction that the candle is. So if it's red, I'm fibbing down. If it's green, I'm fibbing up. If you were to have this fib right here, you would have had to play for almost the whole week. And to the T. To the fucking T. Comes down, hits the 127, fakes you out, comes back up. Not only that, look, it hits this imbalance right here. This huge imbalance. And look at where it hit. You could do the body, but you could do the wick of this, right? The wick of this candle. Look, oh, what the fuck? Look at where it bounced. You could have caught that.
Yep.
Just using the imbalance. Now, yeah, Starscream said that once it pulls back into the 80, it starts to chop. But do with what you may, you can Try to follow that, but it'll give you a good place for Friday.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, that's just another tool to add to your tool belt, right? It's not like you fucking use it all the time. You can use it, but definitely practice it before you put it to practice. I
Right.
mean, to production, I guess. Um, yeah. So it hits that imbalance and then it bounces up. Goes back to the 161. You know it's going back to the 100. Now, when is it going back to the 100? It's hard to tell. It's hard to predict. But anyways, comes back up, hits the GP, completely filling it. Or we have the 38 up there still, but it hits the 50% and then rejects, which is pretty cool. So now somebody was asking about the play on Wednesday. What was Wednesday? The 26th. So the 26th, I caught a pretty large fucking play that I held. I held through the close and I had a nice day that day. Anyways, the things that I was looking at that day were these plays right here. This goes to RJ. He was asking about it. I was looking at this candle right here. Um, oops, because it was choppy most of the day. I was like, okay, so where's the cleanest fucking play? The cleanest play is right here. Look, it fills that imbalance, and now where it filled this imbalance right here, and that was my first target. Oops, we will. Oops. And remember, another thing is you want to see them quick. You want to see it clean. You don't want to see little structures in there. Because when you don't see structures, the move is quick. Quick. So I'm gonna do this doji right here. Uh, we'll go there. This is Wednesday. The color is different, just so we know which ones we're looking at. So we fill this imbalance here, and then it created a new imbalance here. Right, this was at the end of the day, right here. Um, Seeing this, you have see how it creates a new imbalance.
Mhm.
Can't be afraid of the speed. It chopped all day. You could have took it short from this imbalance here. So you would have took it short. You might have got stopped out by this. But if your stop is above this doji, you wouldn't have got stopped out. You would have hit this target down here. Right? So it's coming to the end of the day. If you miss this whole trade right here from this to this imbalance, if you hit, if you miss this play up here, then you got, right? Because you mark off this imbalance here. You see it coming down. It hits off of this one right here. Right here. These two right here. You can put a line on that doji if you want. So you can expect there's a lot of support right here. You can expect a bounce. Now, where you're targeting, if it bounces, you're gonna be right here. And this is exactly what I just explained to you, Whiplash. See how the speed came down and then
Mhm.
it creates a doji right here, this
Yeah,
middle
yeah,
green
yeah.
doji, and then it opens up above it. then you take it long to here.
How so when you're okay, so when you're playing that play is really tough for me. But so if you're gonna play something like that, obviously we're looking at it right now in the hour. What are you when you're actually making the play, what time frame are you looking at?
15 and 15. I'm swapping between the 15 and the 30, but I
Okay.
had the zones. The zones started on the 1 hour. I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
You start on the 1 hour, you fine tune it to the 15 or the 30. So we have it on the 1 hour. Oops. Let's go down to the 30. So the 30, once we get to the 30, um, you can either refine the zone or draw lines where there could be a potential bounce or rejection. I'll do I'll do it yellow or I'll do it pink. It's gonna fuck me up. Let me remove this fib real quick. Hold on a sec. I don't want any interference. So I draw them there. Yeah, who the fuck is this? And then I draw one here. Because this was a 1 hour, right? So, but I see
Yeah.
this doji right here. So that's my line. Now check the 15. 15 lines up with that doji. But see how the doji lines up, but the imbalance is filled, so there's no imbalance right here.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I see a higher doji, oops, I kind of, yeah. So if I see a higher doji like this one, a hammer with a no wick right next to it, I'm moving my thing right there, right?
Yeah.
Because one, there's no imbalance right here. On the 30-minute, there is. So I know that it can slip this, hit this 30-minute, and then bounce. But since it's balanced out right here, I'm keeping an eye right here. If it breaks this body of this doji, then the most likelihood of it coming down to this doji are higher. So that's why you gotta be like, okay, should I stop out a break below this wick of the doji, or should I add and then stop out below the zone?
Well, before we start talking about stop outs, where exactly then did you get in? Like, where
I
did you
got
actually enter?
right here.
Oh, okay. So you weren't even playing it way down there. You played it way over here at the end of the day. Or okay,
No, that was the beginning. But
that was the beginning.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Okay, the
I
next day
was
or whatever.
I let this bitch ride almost all day. That I was up because these two closed above this zone. I
Yeah.
took profit and then I just let it ride. And then right before it closed above up here, the structure.
Okay, so you built it all over. You built it all over here to the
Yeah,
right.
right
That's where
here.
you were building it. You waited all that time, like
Yeah,
through the night, basically, until the next morning, and then you played it going up the neck. When it dropped down into that zone you created yesterday or the day before.
yep.
That's where you played it. Okay, and you
I
picked it.
took the maintenance hit
Oh,
and then I closed up here.
yeah. Okay.
Uh, that was probably the best trade of the week. And like you said, it's choppy, choppy, choppy all day, and it looks choppy right here. And when I say when it's choppy, jump up to a bigger time frame to see if you see clean move like this,
Yeah.
right? It's clean right here, so you know once it breaks this, once it breaks this support, and the way that I'm doing it is just follow doji to doji to doji, right? So we we create this doji. If you're entered here, right? Because we had this pink one from way over here, this imbalance that was over here. Um, If you entered here, take it doji to doji level. So you entered here, it goes up. You may want to take profit because of this doji. It slows down and it creates another doji. Just pay attention. So it creates this doji here. Now this doji is your over under level. If it closes below this level, you might be cautious or wary that it might come back down, create a higher low, and then continue going up.
Yeah.
That's what happens a lot of the time. So what I do is I use this as an over under level. Closes above, I'm cool. I can go up to this level. I can wait for my target to hit. And that could be, okay, I take profit with one or two contracts and let one ride to here. That's the way you're going to catch bigger plays most of the time. You take profit, that guarantees your fucking trade, taking profit. And now, once you enter the trade, don't fucking, don't leave your stop down here. Move it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Move it up, trail it by 25 points. The best sweet spot that I found a trail stop is 40 to 50 points. Once it hits 50, you can put it a 40-point trail stop, so that guarantees you a green. Even if there's a tweet, even if there's a big ass algo candle, fucking, you're gonna get stopped out green no matter what. It's a lot easier to reset if you're green than if you're fucking trying to, if you're trying to stop out red and then trying to recoup your money. It's way harder mentally. It's like trading is the hardest mental fucking game to play because the human
So,
emotions get involved. You start bag holding, you start forcing trades, you start going on tilt, all kinds of shit starts happening. And
so I know I've
whatever,
asked
right?
this question before and I always forget the answer. I don't know. So what is your normal? I know it's going to vary too. I know each play is going to vary a little bit. But do you have kind of a normal lot size that you would normally play? So let's say on this play, where you take like three contracts, take two of them off in profit at some point and let the third ride. You take like five in that one ride or two. Like, how do you normally play that?
If I'm playing micros, I'm going in with three, or I'll start off with two, add three, and let five ride. If if I'm starting with minis, I'll enter with one, and then I'll be cautious to add more, right? If I'm confident in the play, then I'll add three
To
right
your
at the
mini.
gate,
Okay.
right at the gate. And that's depending on what the 30 and the 1 hour look like. So
Okay.
if the 1 hour looks like this, whether it's only two candles down, two candles up, I'm fucking entering full lot size right here.
So you also said a second ago you'd start if you're doing micros, you'd start with two and then possibly add in three.
Yep,
Do you
three
add
more,
in what's that?
adding three more, so equivalent of
Adding
five full
four or
size.
five total. Right, right.
Yeah, yep.
When you add those three in, so you start with the two, are you adding it when it's going in your direction, so you're adding more to it, or you
No.
cost average in when it drops down a little bit below where you want it, but you don't want to stop out yet, so you're kind of cost
Yep.
averaging in with the other three. Is that what you're
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. So I'll get in, say, so this is a 1 hour zone. I'll
Yeah.
get in. Okay, it lines up with the wick. I'll enter here at the wick. Cool, whatever. And then I might add more at the body right here.
Right. Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not adding more down here at all.
Right.
Because
Okay.
that's my stop. It's so close to my stop. Right. But if you drop down to the 5 minute, uh,
Can you tell Chase to go jump in the shot bath? I told him to earlier, he still hasn't. No. Oh, whoops. I
you're good. I got you. You can mute yourself if you want.
I muted I muted my volume on the computer, but didn't mute the mic. An idiot.
You're
Sorry.
good. It's all
My
good,
wife is
man.
gonna.
So right here, right? So On the 5 minute, we'll give you a better a tighter stop if you want to say. So I enter at the wick of the 1 hour or the 15 or the 30. I see this doji right there. That's where my last ad will be if I'm adding. Right. So I had two here and three here. And look right there, bottom ticket. Right at the body of the doji.
If your initial was at the body of the doji, let's say you're
Majority of the time it is my entries are at the body.
yeah, I'm noticing the body is kind of the play a lot of the times.
Like
But
I
if
would
you
say
started
eight
at the body, would you add some in
if
maybe
there
at
was a
lower?
if there was a doji like
Yeah.
right here somewhere, I would.
Okay.
And then my stop's gonna be down here for sure.
I'm finding for myself that I'm beginning to, kind of with this method, I'm beginning to see the plays kind of like, where the bounce points are going to be and everything and I'm beginning to read the chart a lot better. But there's still
Yep.
a difference between reading it and actually playing it, like where exactly to enter, where to stop out, where to do these things. You know what I mean? That's some of the plays that are still kind of messing me up a little bit.
The only
Um,
way you're gonna learn that is to
just keep doing it,
sim
no doubt.
trade it and fucking do it. That's the
Yeah, yeah,
only way you're gonna learn.
yeah. But
And like
these are
I
some of the
said,
questions I have. So yeah, that's cool.
yeah, the only thing you have to pay attention to is the candle speed, candle development, and your levels. Those three things. Pay attention. I've said it probably 100 times already on this meeting today. You know, does the candle stay glued to your level? Does the candle reject your level with speed? Does your candle battle your level, meaning it goes up, down? If you're in the long, it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. But then the other tip is if you're doing the 5 minute candle, pay attention. Is it glued to your level for 3 minutes out of the 5 minute candle? Or did it hit your candle and then the rest of the time it went up in your direction? Um, or down in your direction if you're short. So the last portion of the candle, the last 25% of the candle, meaning the last 25% of the 5 minute. So that's like uh, a minute and a half for the 5 minute. The last 20 seconds, 25 seconds of a 1 minute candle. The last 3 minutes of a 15-minute candle. Last 4 minutes of the 15 minute. The few, last quarter percent 25% of that candle, depending on what chart you're looking at, that's when the candle starts to reveal itself.
Right.
That's when, so if you get in at the opening of the 5 minute, there's a high likelihood that you might get faked out if you don't see the speed going in your direction. Now, things that help you not get nervous. So let's just take this play for example, right? Um, so let's just say I entered here, right, and this big ass red candle. You're like, oh fuck. It hit this, it went red, you got a little bit of drawdown. Now it bounced back up. And you're like, all right, cool. I'm in the cool. I'm cool, I'm cool, I'm cool. And then you see a big red candle, you're like, oh fuck. Is it gonna continue going down? The only thing you gotta pay attention to is dojis. Dojis have helped me stay in the play more times than not. So always look left. Always be looking left and look for dojis like this. If you don't have something like that, look for any doji, right? That's my over under level right there.
The
So
body of the
let's,
doji.
yeah, the body of the doji is your
Okay.
over under level. Or is your signal to stop out early? So instead of stopping out way down here and taking a huge red or your normal red, maybe fucking let's say my normal stop is $250 and it's 250 down here, right? This doji, I'm paying hyper focused on this doji right here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm hyper focused on that doji. I'm like, okay, if it breaks below and it's a close below, if the one of these candle closes below that doji, I'm taking my 175, $150 loss instead of a 250 right here, and then wait, right? Because you gotta say, okay, is there an imbalance? It doesn't look like it looks like all these imbalances are filled up. So the higher likelihood of this imbalance bouncing up here are higher, right? Because it's all balanced out down here. And if it is all balanced out and it breaks below, you want to pay attention. Is there big red candles? So here's one big red one. So if it broke this level, the likelihood of this going all the way down to your stop are higher. Not saying that it will, but the probability of it hitting your stop are higher. So if it breaks that doji and you still don't want to stop out, then look for another doji. Okay, we got this fat body doji. It's still way above your stop, right? Your stop is a hard open close below this level. Then you may want to, okay, if it breaks below that one, then yeah, I'll stop out. You're still gonna maybe be 200 red instead of 250. So those are little things that help me either stay in the trade, stop out early, or you're gonna say, fuck it, let me let it ride, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're, and that depends, right? If you're right here and it's $100, you're like, all right, if it breaks there, I can tolerate 250 and then I'll finally give up. But you have three chances to fucking stop out. You got this one. I would not, you could stop out, but if it's like $50, why would you stop out, right? It's, you're only gonna learn with experience.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a cushion? That's one question. Okay, I'm willing to give up $150 of my cushion. If I have a $400 cushion, meaning you have your green 400, I'm willing to give 150 and I'll let it ride down to here, right? Maybe that's when you'll let it break below there and then see if it'll hit that. But if that's your first trade, you might want to fucking stop out early and don't get mad because it's better to take a smaller red. Remember what the number one rule is: keep your reds small and let your runners run. Let your greens run,
Yeah. I'm still working on that one.
right? You
Fucking
can't get
son.
fucking, you can't get, be afraid, right? So you in the trade, it holds that level. You're like, all right, cool. I'm good right now. And then you're like, okay, we got this doji right here. We need to get over. We need to get over this doji. When you see a doji in a structure like this, that's your fucking squeeze point,
Yeah.
right? So now you've identified your squeeze point. To you have this target up here, but just because that's your target, you have to look at the imbalance and the imbalance that's most relevant and that's the freshest. The freshest imbalance. Can you tell me if I'm in right here? Where's the freshest imbalance? Anybody?
For where are you getting in?
If I get in right here off
To
of
go.
this red right
Yeah.
here, where is the freshest, newest imbalance that you gotta be careful for?
I would. It was so messy here. I would actually. I feel like
Let me
this is a
clean it
trick
up.
question. I mean, I would.
It's
I'd
not
be
it's not a trick
looking.
question. It's straight, it's right in front of you, literally. So I entered on this red candle right here.
Oh, you got it there. Then the first.
And price action is right here. Let me move the chart over so we can. That's price action right there. This imbalance right here is already filled. It
right.
filled it with this wick. It filled
Yeah.
it, right? So where is the freshest imbalance that you should be either targeting?
Well, it's way up here.
Where?
Like red line way up here,
Yep,
isn't it?
yep, exactly.
Okay, all right. So I was looking in this mess going, well, there's no imbalance in any of
No.
this disaster, right? So it's way up here. Yeah, yeah. And but that'd be the
Yeah.
first one.
So that's your first target
Yeah,
or your first area of interest that you should be paying attention to,
sure. Yeah, I got that.
right?
To me, that's a huge move though. For me, that's like a giant move for me.
And it is. It's fucking like 100 points. It's 110 points,
Yeah.
120 points. It's
Yeah.
120 points. If you're not fucking taking profit right here, you're a fucking idiot.
I'd be taking
That's
profit. I would be wanting to take
right.
profit before that, to
From
be honest.
here, from right here, from my entry to here, that's 90 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, your target's up here, but that's 300 points up there. Who the fuck is not going to take profit at 90 points? Now, some traders will say, let your play out and this and that. Well, it could play out red too,
Yeah.
right? The one thing that I've taken from Brandon is always profit stopping, taking profit.
Yeah, that's greed. You can't let it ride on everything, man. Got to lock some of that in.
Yes, sir.
Can you move
Good.
the chart over a little bit so we can see the rest of it here a little bit?
Yep. So now you got this, right? Now you're like, okay, we got our, remember we identified our squeeze point right here because of this doji right here. So that's the squeeze point. Where right here you're like, all right, I'm green. I'm fucking up 70 points. What am I gonna do next? Okay, I need my target. My these are my two targets because here's my T1
Yeah.
right here. Here's my T2. So we identified the squeeze point. We identified the over under level. Now what are we gonna do? Okay, boom. It pulls back. When this candle pulls back, pay attention when it hits this wick. When it hits this wick, you want to see it reject up, right? Because you're going up. You want to see a rejection. Go up. All right, cool. Goes up. Oh shit, it's coming back against me. What am I gonna do? What do I always say? Always hits the body. Look, it hits that fucking body. Do not fucking stop out. Not only that, what do we have next to it? Next to this red candle,
Doji.
a doji. That becomes your over under level. You're in this trade. You're green. You're still green. Now, if it closes below here, profit fucking stop. Your stop $25 green, whatever it is, $100 green. From there to your entry is 10 points. That's 200 bucks
Yeah.
or 20 bucks if you're
I
on
think I'd be
MNQ.
using where you have that green line around. I think I'd be looking for T1 to be there because of all
And
that.
it
Yeah.
can be,
And
but
T2 would be that set for me. That would be my T1, and T2 would be some miracle up there with that where your T1 is. But yeah,
we have already identified the squeeze point.
yeah,
We identified over under levels. You're not getting nervous in the fucking play. You're fucking holding your balls. You're holding strong, right? You're like, okay, cool. It rejected the body. This body right here, you want to see first you want to see a slow down in the wick. So it slowed down, right? This candle right here rejected it. Now what do I always say? 90% of the time it hits the body and then it goes up.
yeah,
So you got the over under here and you got the body. Doesn't break below, you're still good. Now you got a new over under level, this doji. Now this doji is your over under level. You get another one, you get drawdown, you're like, oh shit, don't get nervous. You got this over under level and you got this over under level. Once we go here, it goes back up to here. And now after this candle, you're waiting for it to break above this doji right here because that was the choke point, the squeeze point, the pivot point. I'm not saying that it could squeeze up because it could definitely dump, especially after this big red.
yeah.
That's why I always say don't get married to your bias. It can squeeze up, but this is your fucking over under level. If it struggles to get back over because it's already battled it once. Now this is the second time. Now if it struggles the third time, you may be cautious and you just follow the dojis, right? So we get over here, we're looking for a squeeze candle, and do we get it? Boom. we get the fucking squeeze candle, take profit here, and then it goes right to your fucking target. Right there. T1, T2 on all in one candle, right?
Yeah.
But what kept you confident and what kept you not getting nervous?
The dojis.
Number one thing is
The
fear.
the dojis. Doji, doji, doji.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some people forget to get in at the dojis because they're trying to get the full move, right?
yep.
Like for instance, this morning I missed my entries by like 8 ticks because I was trying to get the full move and the body of the candle and not the wick, and it came down to the wick T, to the T of the wick, right? So that's one thing still working on though, because you know how sometimes it blasts right through the wick and hit the bottom of the body.
Not,
So
75 to 80% of the time it'll hit the body. 25% of the time will hit the wick. Now you just gotta accept the fact that it hit the wick that 25% of the time and just let it go. Let it fucking ride
right,
and wait for the next play.
yeah, that's
Cause
right. Just let you miss sometimes. You can't win them all.
right? Because now, let's say you missed this play right here. You're like, oh fuck. What the fuck am I looking for now? So now you got this imbalance and you got this imbalance, right? So you can get in here. This is a 5 minute, so there's probably a zone right here that we can zone out. Now let's jump to the 15 minute. Let me erase these chats. So you missed a move. Do not FOMO. Whatever you do not FOMO because the we just hit a 1 hour up here. So what's most likely going to happen when it hits 1 hour? It's probably going to pull back. Now, where is it going to pull back? We have a couple of pullbacks. We have a no wick huge squeeze candle right here, and we have a doji right here. Now let's go to the 15 minute. The 15 minutes of doji. Look at that. What a fucking perfect play. This is what's helped me not get fucking FOMO, right? You had this whole move, you missed it, hit your T1 and T2, or hit somebody else's. They're gonna shoot you a screenshot. But what do I always say? Follow the fucking imbalance. It creates a new imbalance. This huge ass candle. We seen it squeeze up. We seen it hella fast. And this is a picture perfect play that I tell you guys. You want to see the imbalance get filled in the first two candles. And then look at that. Boom. Hits your fucking doji. I would probably get in at the doji body and then maybe right here. And then stop out right there. So enter, add if you want to, if you're not in full size, if you're not over leveraged. You can't get over leveraged, right? So now if you got in right here, let me scroll the screen back. Hold on a sec. If I got in right there, if I got in right here, where's my target? Where do you guys think my target will be? Where's my T1 and where's my potential? I don't even know if I would have a T2.
It would be right around here somewhere,
Yep.
or the
Me,
body,
I
whatever.
me,
But
I
it's
go to the
in this
body.
area. Yeah, yeah.
Me, I always go to the body first. Now, because this candle closed above this 1 hour zone, and we broke structure here, we broke all this structure here, the likelihood of it going up or higher. Now, where's it gonna go to? Now you gotta look left for an imbalance. Oh shit, there's an imbalance right there. Already got filled. That got filled. Boom, right here. Because this imbalance is filled, right? This doji got filled. All this imbalance is filled. So now let's move this white line. We'll put it right there. Remember, I got in right here. My T1's right here. Now, just because I got in right here and I took my first profit right here, doesn't mean that I won't profit stop right away. I'm guaranteeing this trade will be green. Now, I'm paying attention to what we do. Now, how are we going to get up to this white level? With dojis. The dojis will tell you what's going on. Let's see what happens. Boom, hit my first target. Hit my first target here or here, right here. It hits this. Now, because it hits this zone, you should expect the pullback. Now, just pay attention to any imbalances that are created on the way up. We have this little imbalance right here. Right here. Fair value gap, imbalance, whatever. But I always say when there's an imbalance created, you always go to the body of the two candles that are tag teaming that imbalance. Hits that body right there, right? Because this candle created an imbalance. There's an imbalance right there. But 90% of the time, it'll come to the body of it. So if this candle broke below this level right here, then most likely I would profit stop. But in this case, it didn't, so I'm not profit stopping. Now let's see what happened. Boom. Now I would have profit stop right here with this candle. I would have been out of the trade. But let's see how we get up to that level. There's no imbalance here. There's no imbalance. So I would be waiting, but there's now an imbalance here to here, right? So now you get out of this trade. You missed this trade. You get out of this trade right here, right? Because you got out right here on this one. You got out, and then you profit stop down here. But now there's a new imbalance right here. This on the 30-minute, it's a huge imbalance. But the imbalance starts right here. This is red doji. I mean, the green doji. The green doji, but see how they overlap? Technically, it's right here. But me, since it's a doji right there, that's where my level would be. So let's put a level there instead of drawing. Boom. Remove these fucking drawings. Now I'm looking for it to come back down, hit that to potentially break above there.
Yeah.
Boom. Does it hit? Does it hit? Nope. It just runs. Runs. I would have missed that play. Oops.
Hey, Seb, I'm loving this conversation, but I got a boogie. I gotta get my kid to a drum lesson.
All good, brother. Have a good weekend.
Hey, man,
Thanks
you
for stopping
too.
by.
Awesome. Later, guys.
Yep, later. So now you don't have a play here. We broke above this zone. Oh, cool. We got an imbalance here. You could have entered here, right here, to target. That's your third or fourth trade you could have taken to target way up here to this white line, and you would have hit it. But anywho, you see this in no wick right here? Look where it goes to. Magnets at no wick. We already broke above, and RJ was asking, well, why'd you hold, or can you explain the trade on Wednesday? So we seen the no wick there. I knew it was gonna magnet there. Came back, still held this level, and then I had three contracts, so I already had taken profit here. Came back, I took profit here on my second contract. I held one contract through maintenance, got this huge candle. We gapped up after open, and then I profit stopped right here on this red right here. Boom. And I think I had another imbalance up here, but it shied in. I was like, fuck it. As soon as I got out, of course, it hits my target. So let's see. Pretty sure. Let's move that one. I'm pretty sure there's an imbalance over here that I was targeting. Yep. I was targeting that wick right there. But didn't hit there. Shite it. And then it hits it later on. Oops. Boom. Hits it. All good. It's recorded. So you'll see. Does anybody have any trades they want to share? I mean, you could try to see if we can take a trade. See what we see. 15 minutes. Now we see this imbalance. Look at that. Sometimes imbalances line up with imbalances. See this white line that was an imbalance with no wick way before. We had this one up here, but I'm gonna move it there. Something's going on. My docket station starting to crap out. So right here, you can risk getting in right here because it's a base. Kind of this hammer candle sweat previous low. Now, if we risk this, if you get in right now, right here, your risk should be this green candle right here. So that's 79, we'll say 80, 60 points. Now, 120 bucks on MNQ or 1,200 bucks on NQ. Now, which can you tolerate? Most likely not NQ. So you drop down, it's 120 bucks on one MNQ times 3, that's $360. Or if it's 2, that's 240 bucks. If your stop's 250, you should be able to, if you want to risk it. Now, just because you can tolerate the stop, your first area of point of interest that you need to get over is right here. But okay, how do we do that? The next one or two candles has to close above these dojis. Has to. It has to close above those dojis. If one closes above those dojis, I would like to see, in order for us to make it up here, I would like to see a break of structure of this thing, and then an imbalance created right here, come back down, fill that imbalance, and then go up to smash through this level and potentially tag the 100 EMA and the 50 SMA. It'll slow down because this is a no GP right here. This is a no GP right here, or fair value gap, whatever you call it. But it's an imbalance too, right? You got this huge imbalance right here, or two no GPs. But first we gotta break structure. Remember, it's basing. I would have loved to see a sweep, hit this, then break structure, create an imbalance, fill the imbalance, and then go up to these levels. That's prototypical play. Not saying that it can't go right now, but like I said, you got to pay attention to this level right here. You need to get over that level. We'll put a horizontal line. We'll put it at the top of that body. Now, are we closing above it? Let's see. Remember, you want to see a break of structure, a new imbalance created. We kind of have RSI creating, so RSI needs to create a higher low, break above, confirm, and then go. That's one thing. You want to see these lines crossed or go like this. That's two. It's the end of the day. It's power hour. It's the end of the week. MOC might be up here. So, like I said, I want to see an imbalance created, break a structure, hit this for MOC the last 10 minutes of play, and then squeeze up to here. That's what I would like to see. Now, do we get it? Who knows? Look at it's looking good. It's looking good. If we close, we got 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Remember, I always say the last part of the candle is going to reveal itself. Closing above. Let's drop down to the 5 minute, see what we see there. We got a doji here, and we got a doji here. But this right here is going to be your squeeze point. Right here. That's your squeeze point. So right now, it's probably going to hit this doji, probably come back down, and then go up. And the 50 went down. We shall see. Or we're going to see break of structure. It's going to have a tough time. All these bears are here. And sometimes when it's choppy like this, you're like, what the fuck am I trading? I can't see the chart clearly. Well, let's jump over to the 15 minute. What do we see there? We got this doji, and we just need this to close above these dojis, and then we wait for the confirmation. I prefer it to break this structure. Squeeze. If we close above here, the next candle should squeeze above here, break structure, create an imbalance. They go like this. Bam. Fill that imbalance, and then and then go up. But I don't know if there's enough time in the day. Anybody have any trades they want to share? Does anybody have any trades they want to share? Sorry, I got a cough. Fucking allergies. Let's see what happens. Should have a minute. Oh, it just closed. Cool down created a small imbalance, so this should squeeze up. Maybe come down to the body right here. And then squeeze. Since this green candle closed above here, this should prove that there's strength in the move up. But we shall see the bears. The bears will be bears. Now, let's adjust that play real quick. As I always say, it hits the body right. So it could go here, create a new imbalance to here, and then come down, and then go up. But technically, the imbalance is already filled because of the wick right here. So all right here, the market is balanced out. The only imbalance we have is from here all the way to here. But I always use the bodies. I'll be right back. Man, I got a cough attack. So pay attention to the last 3.5 minutes of this candle. It's gonna give us the move. See what it really wants to do. See what we get. Come on, sucker. Come on. Anybody have any questions? Well, what is the recording there? and see what we get.